Hey, what's going on there, folks? Earthmaster here, jumping in August 22nd, 2020, about 3:17 p.m. West Coast time here, and redoing the update video that I just put out here a few minutes ago. I was having some issues there with the broadcasting software, which cut out my microphone, so it was a video with no audio, which doesn't help out one bit when someone's trying to get information on an important subject such as the activity there in the Gulf Coast, with some potentially historic activity coming to the region. Possible two hurricanes at the same time, two named hurricanes at the same time there in the Gulf. Something that doesn't happen too often. We can't say it's never happened. A few folks tend to disagree with me that it's never happened, but you can look at a couple events back in 1933, or at least one event back there, I should say, where that had happened, but they're right, it just doesn't happen all that often. So we got Tropical Storm Marco and Tropical Storm Laura within the vicinity of each other there, kind of all aiming towards the Gulf Coast region, and on that target area is Louisiana, unfortunately, and they both are taking a pretty good track towards that region. We'll go over some of the activity right now. Some of the key messages, I guess. Let's go on to the details right now. You can see Tropical Storm Marco heading towards the northwest at about 13 miles per hour. Fairly slow, a little bit slower than Tropical Storm Laura behind it. Winds, sustained winds at about 65 miles per hour. So a strong tropical storm. This is soon to be a hurricane, and we'll show you the path of that here in a little bit. Probable wind speeds, probability of tropical storm here. Here's the chances of it. Right there, smack dab, right around New Orleans area, Louisiana. Not a good scenario for these guys. I'm going to show you why here in a little bit. But we're looking at 100% chance there of at least tropical storm winds from the soon-to-be Hurricane Marco. Lots of rainfall expected from this system as well. The arrival time of Marco in this area, which is well east, is definitely shifted well east compared to other previous models where it showed a Texas landfall over here towards the west. Definitely shifted a little ways over here to the east, folks. Pretty far. We're looking at Sunday 8 p.m. is where we're starting to see the tip of this state here, Louisiana, reaching the tropical storm force winds there Sunday 8 p.m. and then of course it moves inland there Monday morning, and of course weekend afterwards. But still a pretty good storm coming in with lots of rain. There is some watches being in effect right now within this area from Tropical Storm Marco. Warnings right here. Let's go over to this area. You can see the pink color here indicating the hurricane watches that are in effect along the Louisiana coast and into Mississippi as well. Alabama is looking at a tropical storm watch in this area here, just a portion of it. Now this is all possible that we could see this updated and change a little bit. It has shifted east pretty far. I don't see it shifting further east, but it's something to watch over the next day as we get very close to pinpointing this area of activity. So you can see the hurricane status here throughout the day on Sunday and Monday, reaching Louisiana as a hurricane, and then weakening further inland as you get into deeper into Louisiana and into Texas there. Tropical depression there in Texas, 1 p.m. on Wednesday. But hurricane strength, we don't know exactly how strong this thing will be. It is zooming over, well, it's going over some warm waters there in the Gulf, but it is kind of running into some shear, which could potentially weaken it. But they're forecasting it. The folks there at the National Hurricane Center seem to be forecasting stronger each update that I see. Very warm waters out there. And it's just something to really watch out there in this region. And that's just one hit from Mother Nature, I guess, if you will. Behind it, about a day later, we're looking at tropical storm, soon to be Hurricane Laura. Right now, it's maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour, a little bit weaker. It is heading over those islands there. A lot of people call these the hurricane shredders, right? So we don't know exactly if this is going to survive the trip through the islands. Something to watch, folks. But these folks at the Hurricane Center are definitely saying that it will survive the trip through the islands out here. This thing's picking up a little bit of speed, a little bit faster than Tropical Storm Marco, 18 miles per hour to the west, and once again 50 mile per hour sustained winds, and hurricane watches throughout the region there in the islands. Let's go over here to the warning area here. You can see right around the Cuba area, looking at some tropical storm warnings there in the blue outline. Also over here in these islands, some tropical storm watches up towards Miami, or just off the coast here of Florida, into the Keys there and other regions within the vicinity. Nothing issued yet because we don't know exactly the strength of this thing, and it's possible this thing could curve a little bit. It's still a ways out there, but that as we get closer, we'll see some warnings and advisories being in place there. Here is the tropical storm force wind probabilities. As you can see once again there, Marco taking aim right at Louisiana, and not far behind it is Laura. Check out this map right here, folks. This is not Marco that we're looking at. This is soon to be Hurricane Laura, taking direct aim at the exact same location where Marco is headed to. About a day later, this is Tuesday 8 p.m. here, where right smack dab, folks, in the same area. I hate repeating that, but it's not looking good for these folks here in Louisiana area. Of course, the cone of uncertainty, right, expanded out here, but it's kind of pinpointed. We're getting further pinpointed here into this region where we are looking at potentially a lot of rainfall, and not a good sign there in that area. But there is still some uncertainty, folks, and it's something to watch and pay attention to, and get a lot of your if you're looking for daily updates, hourly updates, turn to these folks here, the National Hurricane Center, at NOAA.gov. NOAA.gov is the place to get your factual information from. There's a lot of stuff there on Facebook and social media that kind of put the fear out there. A lot of fear mongering going on. If you want to get your information from factual sources, go to this site right here. That's a good area to get your information from. So we'll just watch it, folks. Things are changing. Things change hourly, it seems like. But Louisiana is on target for a potential bullseye activity. Just doing a real quick recap of the earthquake activity. I just covered this half an hour ago, but unfortunately, I had some issues there with the software. Everything's looking good now. Not a whole lot of activity to report out there, folks. Some small microquaking throughout the west coast. On the tremor map, I just checked this. There was no tremor today, right? There's the 21st yesterday. You go over here to today, search. No tremor as well. Very quiet out here with tremor activity along the Cascadia subduction zone. You got to go back to the 20th before you find some activity out here up in Washington and also Northern California. So quieting down out there along the Cascadia subduction zone. I can't say that's a good thing. I'm not 100% sure if it's a bad thing. Yellowstone National Park, pretty quiet out there as well, folks. No swarming activity going on. So cutting this one a little bit short. The other one was 15 minutes long. Just hopefully this one, everything looks good now. I'm going to get everything back set up here how it was. and then we'll go from there. So stay safe out there, folks, in Louisiana. Stay tuned. We will chat you guys a little bit later on.